ready.
Welcome to another episode of Buff in the Rough. Today we'll hear from Patrick Doran about what it's like to hunt in the Finger Lakes of New York State, how to pick puppies, and a whole lot more. Help me welcome Patrick to the program. Well, hey Patrick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Sam?
Oh, I can't complain. I can't complain at all. Patrick, I'm excited to have you on, and one of the biggest reasons, I believe you're the first person I've ever had on here from New York State. And I want to talk about that in a few minutes and hear all about what it's like up there. But before we get into it, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe how you got into hunting?
My name's Patrick Doran. I'm from upstate New York, and I got into hunting dogs about when I was 8 years old. My buddy and his dad, they used to go coyote hunting with some guys, and we used to go every weekend. And first time I ever went, we ended up shooting a coyote with them dogs, and I just got hooked to it. And I told myself when I was a younger kid, I'm going to own me a pack of dogs, and by golly, I did.
So you started out coyote hunting?
Yeah, I started out coyote hunting. I didn't really own my own dogs until I was probably 14, 15 years old. I got a coon dog, and then I got my own coyote dog, and we got into some beagles. I've just always had hounds since I was 14, 15 years old, and I'm 28 years old now, just turned 28.
So you've done a little bit of everything with dogs. I mean, so you've had coon dogs, coyote hounds, rabbit dogs. Now, how did you how did you end up getting beagles and getting into the rabbit dog business?
Well, the way I got into beagles, my cousin, when he was about the same age coming up, he ended up getting some beagles, and he ended up getting a couple dogs, and I'd hunt with them dogs. There were sometimes he'd be doing something, and I didn't have my driver's license yet, and I'd go up to his house down the road, and I'd throw the couple dogs he had in my grandma's car, and I told my grandma, I said, let's go drop me off here, and I'd stay there for probably most of the day, and then I'd just call her back up and tell her to come pick me up, and then she'd complain because I had some bloody rabbits in her car, but I told her she'd have to get over it.
Poor grandma.
Yeah, and grandma always had to come to the rescue when I needed her to come get me, but she complained a little bit, but it was okay.
What great memories. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how long have you been rabbit hunting then?
I've been probably rabbit hunting since I was it's probably been since I was 17.
Oh, okay. So it's been a while.
I've been doing it for a while, and I'm in and out of like focusing on the coyote hunting and then focusing on coon hunting. This time I'm new to the competition rabbit hunting stuff of it in the UKC, and I really like the format, and it seems to be working for me so far.
So you not only pleasure hunt, you compete in some of these competitions too.
Just starting these competitions.
Okay. Well, great. Well,
we actually have a club up here in Branchport, New York, and it was Kids Coon Club, and we're real struggling. Coon hunting's kind of dying around here, and we're like, we need to do something. And I told there were some other guys and a few of my other buddies, and we got together, and one of my other buddies, he was getting out of coyote hounds too. He was getting rabbit dogs, and so I'm like, man, I said, we got this. There's these rabbit hunts for UKC, and I see that one of our clubs further away is doing it, and that's all they're doing. They ain't even having coon hunts no more.
Mm-hmm.
And we last year we put some on. We put I think it was 3 of them on, and it pretty much saved our club.
Wow.
And it seems to be, it works for us right now. And it just seems like the people that used to be the coon hunters are going to rabbit hunting, and the guys that coyote hunt are getting rabbit dogs too.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, that's the thing, Patrick, is having good leadership, and the leadership that understands that doing the same thing over and over is not going to work for you in the future, and making changes when you need to. And I'm really happy that your club up there could see into the future a little bit and maybe change course just a little and save the club, and maybe it'll come back. I don't know, but at least you're in a position now to have a little time to see if it can come back. You bought yourself some time. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I wanted to ask you, since you're dabbling now a little bit into the competition side. Everybody's got a kennel name. Could you tell us what your kennel name is and how you got it?
My kennel name is Italy Hill Kennels. I just came up with it in 2024, and the only reason I came up with it is because I live out in the middle of nowhere up on Italy Hill, and I'm like, that's the name of my kennel, and I only got one dog that's named that, and she's my young dog right now, and that's the only dog that's got that name right now. But I'm hoping to extend that out, and there's some good males out there. We actually there's actually Sugar Creek Kennels, ain't too far from me. My buddies Mike and Rob Ayers, they're the ones that have that, and they just bought a rowdy reputation there from them Heat 'em Up boys, and
oh yeah,
he's a pretty dog. Oh my God, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's a good looking rascal, isn't he?
Oh my God, I mean, now I'm a guy that likes a good old blue tick looking dog, but man, that gosh dang dog, he is nice looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a looker. He's certainly done his share of winning, and boy, there's some awfully nice young dogs out there. As we tape this, we're coming off of the Eliminators, both East and West Eliminators for UKC, and I can't. If Mitch Gould heard me butcher this, he'd be upset at me. But I understand that there were a number of young hounds that came out of the Heat 'em Up stuff, and maybe out of rep in particular, that did pretty well on both sides of the country. So he's made a name for himself. So that's where he ended up. He's in New York.
Yeah, he's in New York. Okay. He's in New York, in the Finger Lakes regions, and he seems to be producing some dogs. I've been looking on Facebook and stuff, and they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that Mike Ayers that's got him there, he's one of the best dog men I know around, and he's a good guy.
Well, Patrick, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the questions that I like to ask people, especially younger folks like yourself that have been doing this, 10, 15 years, kind of in that range. That's still young to me. So when you start out in this hound business, in this beagle business, I know people have had an influence on you, and there's people that you've asked for advice and help over the years, and maybe where you got your beagles from. But who's a person or two that have maybe had a big influence on you and how you do things?
Well, there's two of them, and I got to mention them. When I got started in coyote hunting and the coon hunting stuff, there's one guy. It don't matter. It could be at 2:00 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. If I got something going on with a dog and I don't know what's going on, he always answers his phone, and tells me what to do. His name's Grant Tuttle. He's a tremendous dog, man. He has taught me so much and helped me with so much to make me a better handler and a better dog, man. You know, because I'm going to say this too. If you think you got this game figured out, you might as well just give it up, because there are so many things that can happen that you don't even know, you know? And you got to listen to everybody. But Grant Tuttle, he has helped me tremendously with my coyote dogs and my coon dogs. I ask him questions, and he really helps me figure things out, and we get it done. And the other person is Mike. He's the same way. I ask him questions, and he'll say, you know, try this, you know. And it's good to have. I'm very, very fortunate to have people like them guys in my corner, and I've been very fortunate to surround myself around good dogs. In the coon dog world, we had my buddy had a dog. I can't remember if it was 2022 or something. He went down and won super stakes with it.
Nice.
And that's another big accomplishment too that my buddy has. And I've been so blessed to be surrounded by such good dogs in every category. But those two guys, Mike and Grant, those two are they really do influence me, and I really look up to them too.
Yeah, having good hounds around makes a big difference too. That'll get you fired up sometimes to go when you just rather sit inside and by the fire, you know. And you know that good young hound's out there, you know, really coming on. You just want to go out there for them. Well, let me ask you, because we started out in the introduction talking about you being from New York, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm down here in the South, and when I think of New York, I think of New York City, and New York is a lot more than just New York City. So could you tell us a little bit about, you mentioned the Finger Lakes. Could you talk about what it's like in your area, what the countryside looks like, what the hunting conditions are like, and just kind of paint a picture for us?
Yeah, well, out here in the Finger Lakes, you got, we got flat land, we got hills, you know, we got pretty much it all out here. And the conditions out here, let me tell you what, they can be, one day you can think, man, the sun's shining, it's going to be a great day running. And you go out there and you just want to pull your hair out of your head. The conditions are up and down and up and down. Like right now, the running's been pretty good because the snow's all melting, and it's been, as my buddies and me call it, it's hammer time. And it's been pretty good right now, but you get some, when we get snow, you get either snow that's real crystally and sandy, and like, man, some people will be like, man, that's good to run on. Well, you go out there and that don't hold that much sense. And then you'll get the ups and downs of freezing, unthawing and freezing, and you get crust. And that snow on that crust, if you don't have a dog that's got real good feet, it'll rip their feet right up. And I'm very lucky. I got my little female I could run her on glass. Her feet are so good. But the conditions are so up and down, and but the terrain, some of the terrain we got around here is good. The biggest problem we're having right now is we got Mennonites around here, and they're taking out a lot of thickets to farm. And it's killing some of our spots that we hunt, and it's like, man, we also have quite a bit of state land around here where I live, and there's quite a bit of rabbits in there. But the one thing I don't like going down there is it's loaded with ticks. you go down there to them state lands, and you'll be pulling ticks off of you and off of your dogs, because when I get my dog back, when we're done hunting, I usually either right there or when I get home, I comb them out.
Mm-hmm.
And especially during the springtime and stuff, because there's just, them ticks are just bad. We've had a lot of good dogs I've seen around here get Lyme's disease, and they kind of go downhill, and you got to make sure you put them on doxy to help them out. It's just it's a pain. It's terrible. It sucks, but you got to deal with it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's amazing to me that there's certain regions in the country that just, it seems like they just hold ticks. And there's certain clubs that you go to, and around here, especially in the South, where you just know you're going to have ticks all over you, and your dogs are too. So the first thing you do when you finish is really scour yourself, and you do a lot of prep ahead of time to get ready for it as best you can. But even as,
like we put those cow tags on the collars. And some people use those dog collars, the ones that I can't remember which brand they're called, but they use them, and they seem to help. Like what I always usually do too is I'll spray my dog down with some stuff before I cut her loose. But it's just, you got to do anything to protect it. That Lyme's disease, I've watched some very good dogs go downhill, and it's like, man, it's too bad.
It is. Well, you mentioned to be successful up there, you need a dog with good feet. Tell me, how do you get a dog with good feet? Is that just, you mentioned your female. Is she just born that way? Is it just over time she built up a toughness on her pads on her feet? Or, I mean, what do you mean when you say good feet?
Born with good feet. Gotta be not. Them feet I don't like are those, them web-coon dog feet, I always call them. Them web-coon dog feet always seem to tear right up. I'm looking for, when I get a dog, I want a dog that's got nice, tight feet. And, they're just nice and tight. And I keep my dogs on, I like to keep them on, like, crusher run to roughen up their feet. And that's been seeming to work. But this little dog I got here, I've ran her in the crust and everything, and it doesn't seem to bother her a bit. And it's hard to find a dog with good feet. I mean, I had a couple coyote dogs that had some. I only ever had one coyote dog that had good feet, and they were built just like my little beagles, and all the rest of them were all webbed or something, and they were just junk feet. But like my buddy says, if you want to run, you got to run. It don't matter what the conditions are. That's what. There's a lot of people too that I've noticed around here. They won't hunt unless the conditions are just right.
Perfect.
And it's like, I want a dog that can do it in bad conditions and good conditions.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. You kind of got to go when you can go, and it may be windy.
You ain't doing no good when that dog's sitting there on that chain.
That's right.
That's no good. You gotta hunt. I hunt just about every single day I can, because I work nights, and I get out in the morning, put my kid on the bus, and she knows we got to load up the dog before we go to the bus, so she's always ready to go. And
that's right. So Patrick, you work at night. People may not know this. So you work at night, and so you come home from work and put your baby on the bus, and you're ready to go hunting right after that.
Oh yeah,
that's a good schedule.
And then on the weekends, if her mama works on weekends sometimes. There's sometimes she has to go with me, and we go up to her club, and she'll go out there and walk with me. And you gotta get these young kids into it. I mean,
that's true.
They're the future of our sport, and if you don't, it's just gonna die.
Well, speaking of that, there's a couple questions I want to kind of follow up on things you were talking about. But let's keep with this too. So you mentioned the future hunters. What's one of the biggest challenges that they're going to face? If your daughter grows up and she wants to chase with coyote hounds or coon dogs or beagles or bird dogs or something else, what's going to be her biggest challenge, do you think?
Biggest thing I think is getting permission for like places and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course we got deer hunters, as everybody knows,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to get permission to run. I mean, you can get permission, but it's always after deer season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
And the other hard thing is going to be, these Mennonites keep taking out hedgerows and taking out thickets and just taking spots away, and that's another tough one,
Mm-hmm.
Which is terrible. There's been some spots here that I'm like, I used to hunt when I was a kid, and I'm like, man, I can't believe that's gone. We used to jump so many coyotes in there, and now it's just all disappeared. And there's some spots we used to rabbit hunt, and that's like that. It's all gone and turned into a housing development or something.
Patrick, this is the same answer I think I get from about everyone. It really doesn't matter what part of the country I talk to people in. It's very rarely do I get an answer that doesn't include somewhere loss of access to good hunting property. And then a kind of a secondary one to that, and it's related to it, are deer hunters and kind of this, I guess deer hunters locking up a lot of land with leases, getting the hunting rights on a lot of properties, even if it's just the local, deer hunters working with the local farmers. And like you said, you can hunt, but you have to wait till after deer season. Well, after deer season, there's not that much season left around here for small game guys. There's just not.
Season, so our bow season starts October 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes all the way in. Then we got a regular gun, and then we got muzzleloader, and it goes all the way into like the beginning of January.
Yep.
And we don't got much time to. If you want, like, I love running rabbits and shooting them. A lot of my buddies get on my case about that because we don't got that many rabbits around here, but we got enough.
Mm-hmm.
So they ride me a little bit about shooting all these rabbits off, but they get over it. Yeah.
Well, one thing you mentioned earlier.
It's hard.
One thing you mentioned earlier that I wanted to comment on was running when you can, bad weather, good weather, whatever kind of weather. And one thing that I have learned, and I'm not a big-time field trialer, I'd just soon turn out behind the house here and just listen to them run as much as anything else. But I do like going to field trials every once in a while to check things out and see what people are hunting. But one thing I've learned about field trials, they don't hold them just when the weather's good.
Exactly.
I've hunted in some terrible conditions. I mean, conditions I would not choose to go hunt in had it not been I'd made a commitment to go to the field trial. I'd have stayed at the house.
Yep.
Yeah, just terrible conditions. So you got to go, and I think that's probably good for your dog to be exposed to hunting and conditions other than just perfect conditions. If you're going to play that game.
It's just like one of my buddies, he was telling me, because we were actually talking about this a couple weeks ago. He's like, you got to get them dogs out there. He goes, he went to a hunt. He's a coon hunter. He went to a hunt. There's a thunderstorm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He goes, my dog's the only one that treated coon. I said, why is that? He goes, because I hunt in them terrible conditions.
Mm-hmm.
I said, them other guys don't do that. That's why them dogs they wanted to hang around. My hunting got in there, got treed, he said. And I go, that's how, so they kind of learn from that too, it's pretty funny too. I've been out and in the downpouring rain and had the best running around ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you go out on a beautiful, nice day and you're thinking, man, they're going to pound. And they don't even pound. They just make you want to pull your hair out of your head. But I don't do a lot of packing. I do. I solo a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this young dog I got here, this Italy Hills Blue Bell, she just, I'll tell you what, they told me, my buddy Mike told me, solo. And at first I thought, nah, but man, you really, really learn about a dog. And I listened to one of your podcasts. I think you had Mitch Gold on there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said about the 30-day challenge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and he ain't lying. He ain't gonna have to buy me a steak dinner.
Yeah, Mitch is he's very pro solo, and there's a lot of guys that are successful in the trialing world, especially, that are very pro singling them out like that, almost like you would a coonhound. A lot of guys like to single out their coonhounds too and just hunt them by themselves. But
that's where I think I get it from too, mm-hmm. is doing that from coon hunting, and that's why I think I like the UKC format better too than like the AKC, mm-hmm. because it's like we're in a coon hunt. And you're actually striking your dog, and you can do stuff. You can put a question on the scorecard or something if you don't agree. And
well, I've been pretty lucky, pretty fortunate, blessed to participate in UKC's format, the hunter hound or hound and hunter format. I like it because it does remind me. I grew up on the coon hunting side as well, and it makes me feel like I have a voice in the outcome. Mm-hmm. And some of the other formats, I've gone and spectated and watched the judges fly through the brush as fast as they can, but you can't help but miss stuff. I mean, you can't be everywhere at once. I mean, those little beagles and rabbits are pretty fast, and the judges do the best they can. But I don't know. I kind of like the format that you're hunting about as good as any. But tell me,
that's basically what the way my dog is. That's what she's built for the UKC format. I went to Pennsylvania for field trial AKC Dirty in Shamokin, and drove 3 hours down there to run my dog for 5 minutes and got picked up. I looked at my buddy and I said, "We ain't never doing this again." Mm-hmm. I said, "This is not." And the worst part about it was she come out of there and she was just. She's a little rough now. I know she's rough and she's got a lot of foot, but when you get told you're running too much rabbit, I don't even know what to think about that. Mm-hmm. We'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Patrick, I know you've been hunting for a good while now, but you mentioned Bluebell, and maybe she's the answer, but tell us about maybe one of your favorite hounds.
I'm gonna tell you right now, she's my favorite right now. I couldn't have got her without my buddy Ryan Woods and Josh Wood helped me get her, and I can't thank them enough. And I asked them if they wanted anything back for her, and they said no. And I said, well, if you guys help me get her, your names are going to go on the paper. Mm-hmm. I said, that's the right thing to do. And I mean, I've never put her in a pen or nothing. She's been started right on the outside. We'd come home from coon hunting, and we'd have rabbits out in my buddy Josh's, where he keeps his dogs at his mother's house. There's always rabbits out there. And we walk her up to them when she's a puppy and put her down on them. Just about every single night we do that. And all of a sudden, finally, one night she went out there. She was a squeaking and stuff, and then she come back. But she just, this dog, she's really impressed me. And I gotta tell myself every time I clip her off the leash, she ain't even a year old yet, because she'll run a rabbit like she's a 3-year-old dog. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've watched her when I've packed her probably a handful of times besides putting her in trials.
Right.
And there was this there was a trial down in Corning, and I hunted her before that with these other dogs of my buddies. And I wanted to see if she showed me something that I was going to make my mind up I was going to go to it. Well, she took that rabbit out of there, down this hedgerow, and she just flat out showed them dogs how to run that thing and not skip a beat. And I looked at my buddy Josh and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to Corning." I said, "Hopefully it's not snowing," because he works for the town. And I said, "Hopefully it's not snowing so you can go with me." Well, he had to end up staying home because we got a little bit of snow up at home. And I got a story about Mel here. I put her in her first hunt, or it would have been our last hunt we just had here recently at my club in Branchport. And we ended up having a tie.
Mm-hmm.
And so we actually had to hunt for 15 minutes. Nothing happened. So what happens when you don't have, when you still have a tie?
Mm-hmm.
You got to flip a coin. I lost on a coin flip. Tiebreaker coin flip. The first one ever.
Yeah.
So I take her down there to that coin hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happens. I get in a tiebreaker coin flip. I lose on that one. I'm like, man, this dog ain't dead. I'm like, man, I was upset. I'm like, I walked back to my truck, and I just look at that dog, and you got to go out there and just dominate it. And finally, we get back, we go out for this one spot, and I just kept getting them first strikes. I mean, they got me on the first strike, on the first cutoff. They were talking to me, and I was a little distracted. And I told myself, that ain't happening again. Mm-hmm. And I just kept getting them first strikes, and we didn't score any lines, and she ended up getting a check, and it won me the hunt. And I was like, oh, so that's been the happiest time. You put so much work and time into this little dog here, A lot of people don't understand it, but it means a lot to me anyway. I take a lot of pride in my dogs. Mm-hmm. And the last hunt, I just got out dogs at a world qualifier down in Florida. It's hard to beat a dog with 600 strikes.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough, But she's gonna be put up and soloed until the state hunt in April in New York here.
Great. That's a good story. It sounds like a very fine hound. Well, tell me some about maybe some of the best hounds you've run against. And this could be either in a trial or just out on just a regular old rabbit hunt. Have you seen any hounds that really impressed you?
There's a few out there. My buddy Zach Kaufman, he's got a dog named Lone Pine Stella, and I watched her run, and she hunts real hard, got a real big nose, and she's a rabbit dog. He actually, I can't remember when he did it, but he might have been last year, a couple of years. He won the Pennsylvania state hunt with her.
Oh wow!
Yep, Zach Kaufman, and her name's Lone Pine Stella. She's a pretty nice dog. I really liked her. And my buddy Mike Ayers, he used to have a dog that was directly out of Green Wells Reggie, named Chopper. And that dog, he was a really nice dog too. He actually ended up passing away at his house, and if they stay around for that long at Mike's house, they're something special. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That dog, and then my other buddy, Mike's brother Rob, he's got a few dogs that I like. He's got a little young female that's about the same age as Belle, and she is pretty impressive. She has a big old mouth on her, jumps rabbits. She sent me videos of her catching them on the ground. And I don't know specifically what she's out of, but she's a really nice dog. And actually, the first time he ever put her, she just put her in an AKC trial. I met him down there, and he got put on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, you get put on the bench down here in Corning, I said, and you ain't in the clique. I said, you got yourself a dog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's got another one called Hammer Time Jax. I think that's his name. His name's Jack. I call him Jax. He's out of that chopper dog that Mike used to own and Mike had. And he's a real nice dog, too. Gets her dog. He'd be more of a pleasured hunting dog. You know, he likes to be your buddy, you know. You go hunting, and he's got another one named Diamondback Blue, and that dog is just goes hunting, gets rabbits up, and does it right. Good competition dog. And the last dog I really liked that I started when I got back into it this year here in the rabbit hunting, my buddy Ryan Wilkes has a dog named Speedy. Mm-hmm. And man, he's from out of Kentucky. Mike had him and then sold him to Ryan. And I love that dog. I told them guys, I said, man, you guys are lucky I don't got that dog at my house right now, because every rabbit in Yates County and Ontario County probably be dead. That dog, he's a straight up rabbit machine, man. He gets them jumped, gets after it. He's an older dog now, blue tick, and he's one of my favorites too. I had him at my house for a little while, hunted him, and he was the first dog I ever put in a trial, was that dog, and I didn't lose by much, but he didn't have the foot, and that's where it got me on the lines. But he's just a solid, straight up rabbit dog machine. And if you want to go kill rabbits, I'm telling you right now, that's the dog I'm taking, because he don't bark out of place.
He's a rabbit dog.
He's a rabbit.
He's a rabbit. I love it. My favorite kind of dog.
Oh yeah, he's one of the ones that really got me. Like, I'm gonna have something, you know. And I said I'm gonna go out. That's how I originally got Mel, because we were actually thinking about breeding to him. And there's just, you know, there's some better, you know. I ain't taking nothing away from the dog. But the competition style of it, you got to go for what breed to what's producing for the competitions.
I got you. I hear you.
You know.
Well, keep your competition hat on for a minute. And if you had to put together like a dream cast of 4 dogs to hunt in this, you hunt the UKC format. If you could put together a dream cast of 4 dogs you'd like to go see head to head, and these could be dogs that are living today, dogs from years and years ago that aren't with us anymore. What 4 dogs would you pick to see run? And these could be dogs you've just heard of, maybe you've just never seen them before, but just your dream cast, you'd like to see them go.
I'd have to put Stella in there, my buddy Red Coffin's dog, Stella. Mm-hmm. She'd have to be in there. My buddy Roberts is Blue Dog. And Rep, from what I've never really seen him ran. I've seen a lot of videos of him, and I've heard a lot about him, but he's got to be in there too. That 4th dog's going to be a hard one. I can't think of who to put in there. Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of videos of the dog go, never hunted with the dog, but that heat 'em up Jake. Oh yeah. I've seen a lot. I like the way you caught that dog loose in the videos, and I seen him kicking dirt in your face like a coon dog, and I'd have to say that one too.
Yeah, he's done a lot of winning too. Sure has.
I mean, there's I'd have to put them in there. If I didn't put him in there, I'd have to put my buddy Ryan Wilkes' rain dog in there. She I don't know. Sometimes I think she pulls rabbits out of her pocket and puts them down or something. She just finds a way to win every time.
It's nice to have a dog like that in your pack.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's good. Well, while you've been out hunting all these years, and you've done all kinds of hunting from a very early age, talk us through some of the most memorable experience while you've been out hunting, and maybe this is a two-part question, maybe it's the same answer, and I also like to ask people, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen while out hunting? This may be the same thing, for you, but tell us about a favorite memory and maybe something that was crazy that happened while you were out hunting.
Well, there's a lot of crazy things. You see, if anybody that coyote hunts has ever seen, you ever coyote hunted, you've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I don't care what anyone says. Around here, anyway. There was one of the craziest times that comes to my mind. We're coyote hunting, and we got a coyote bait up against the fence, and dogs are going after it. And all of a sudden, we got all these deer come running out, and we're on a main road, and I'm parked on the side of the road there. And I'm like, oh boy, look at this. There's a Prius, and it ain't slowing down, and it hits this deer going about 55, 60. That deer goes up in the air, flying around. The windows in the airbag shattered, and that car just kept on driving.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. I can tell you right now, I got people that witnessed it. If they want to talk to them, because that was the most funniest thing I ever seen. As long as everybody must have been okay, because he just kept on going. And I'm like, I could not believe it. And then my buddies down, they were in front of me a little bit. They're over there picking up the deer, throwing it in the back of their truck to go put it on a bait pile. That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen that sticks out to me. And the most memorable is probably hunting with my buddies and stuff,
Yeah.
And taking my daughter out there with me and my buddy Josh Wood's boys. I like them kids always. They gotta I always carry keys because I'm a custodian there at the school, so I'm always carrying keys. His one boy's got a set of keys, got to act just like me, and I
love it.
I love the kids part of it and getting them involved, and Josh is he's more on the coon hunting side of it than the rabbit hunting side. And but it's just that, and these guys that have been like my buddies Mike Ayers and Grant Tuttle, I look up to them every single day. They really help me out a lot, and those are some of the biggest things right there.
Those are great examples of crazy stuff that's happened, and Toyota has a wonderful reputation of building tough vehicles, so it doesn't surprise me that Prius just shook off a deer and kept on trucking.
Just keep right on going. I'm just like, wow.
That's crazy.
Everybody on the radio starts laughing. I'm just like, I ain't never seen anything like that happen in my life. There is one more thing that I had to. Me and my cousin went down to these guys' farm or rabbit hunting, and I think it was last year, a couple years ago. And this rabbit come out of there, and this guy starts shooting at it, and it runs right between his legs.
Wow.
And he missed it every single time. I sat up on top of that hill laughing. I about almost rolled back down the hill to him. But I watched that, and I thought that was pretty funny, and I gave him the nickname Old Messer. He don't know how to shoot nothing, but it was pretty that was pretty wild too. I ain't never seen a rabbit come out that fast and run right through someone's legs.
That's pretty good.
He's running right at him. He keeps missing. just keep missing it. But
Patrick, if you could build the perfect hound for you and for where you live and how you like to see them go, if you could just build a hound, what would they look like and what would they sound like and how would they hunt?
First off, it'd have to have a big old coon dog mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I like them big mouths. That bell dog I got, she's got a squeaky mouth, which I like it, but I don't like it because it's hard to hear, but it's when you go to striker, you know what dog you're calling.
Mm-hmm.
And I like them, but I'd have to have a big old like coon dog bark on it, real cold nose,
mm-hmm.
definitely blue tick, and real tight feet, tall, 15-inch dog, and it's got to have some gears. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'd like.
Okay. What?
And it's gotta be able to hunt and gotta know when to walk them and when we can flat out run them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And got big thing is has to have a brain.
I got you.
That's one of the biggest things.
I like it. That sounds like a fine hound. I'd probably like to have one of those here at the house too.
Oh yeah.
Well, now I know the competition side's fairly new for you, but is there anyone you like to beat in a cast that you'd like to draw and you'd like to beat in a cast just a little bit more than anybody else?
All my buddies.
Yep.
Because they're gonna have. I know what they're packing, and it's usually pretty good. And I'd just like to beat them a little bit more.
I don't blame you. I would too.
Yep, that's just how I am. I just no hard feelings. I tell them, but when we're out there, it's game on.
Well, I've got kind of a random question for you.
Yep.
And I don't know how much experience you've had doing this, but if you go pick out do you buy puppies and start them yourself? I know you mentioned Belle.
Yep, that's how I bought her. I bought a couple puppies that way. If you don't mind how I can tell you how I got Belle.
Well, I was going to ask you, how do you pick a puppy? I mean, how does that work for you? How do you do it?
I had not to get off. Well, so the first beagle, one of the first beagles here, my grandpa and me had a beagle, and he was a house dog, and my grandpa's buddy, he had a litter of beagles. So he goes, I want to give you guys one. So we went over there. There was two beagles. There was a little ditch. I told my grandpa, I said, the first one that goes in that water, I want. So the first one that went in that water was, I said, that's the one right there, that male. Mm-hmm. And I picked him out, and that dog, he'd run rabbits, but man, we got a camp down in Bradford, New York, in the southern tier of New York, and got 250 acres, and we just let him. My grandfather would take him, let him run free, dog run deer, anything he could get on. But let me tell you what, this is another thing about a dog. If it's running off game, it better do it right, and it better drive it. Because if you can't do that, you ain't for me.
Uh-huh. I got you.
But he could drive a track, and we catch him on our cell cameras running deer and stuff. He ended up coming back after he get tired or something. And that's how I picked out that pup, though, was across the water. The way I picked out Belle is the one that I wanted. The guy goes, nope, she's already spoken for. I'm like, oh, man. So I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my daughter down in that little box, and she's going to tell me which one. So she's the boss. She's the boss. She's about 3 years old. And I put her down she was 4 years old. I put her down in there. I'm like, man, what do you think about this one, Savannah? Her name's Savannah. She goes, no, I want that one. I said, okay. And the funny thing about it was that dog's sitting in the water dish. I go, yep, I guess we're going to get that one, because it seems like every time I pick a dog that goes to the water. That's the one that it always seems to be the one with the personality, the one that's got the most drive.
Uh-huh.
She goes, yeah, Daddy, I want that one. So we're driving home. I had my dad and my dad and her, and I'm talking to Savannah. I'm like, what dog you want? Or what do you want to name this dog? And she goes, oh, name it after me, Daddy. I said, well, Savannah's a little too long.
Uh-huh.
I said, but we can use your middle name. Your middle name is Belle.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, yeah, that's okay. So that's how we got the name for her. And I named her Belle after my daughter. And my daughter, she'll go out there and she knows how to feed them dogs. She's going to be 5 this year. And she'll go out there and feed and water them dogs. And I'm so glad she takes interest in it, and it gives her a little bit of responsibility.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, learn, and it's a lot of people don't really know, but this hound hunting used to be back in the day was the way of life. That's what all these old timers tell me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was a way of life, and you know, it's just I love doing it. You know, when I was younger, my mom she always told everybody, I don't ever have to worry about Patrick. They go, why is that? He's coming home late at like 2 in the morning. What's he doing, out there partying or something? No, because I know he's coon hunting, and I know he's running dogs, and he ain't doing nothing he ain't supposed to.
God keeps you out of trouble. It does.
Keeps me out of trouble, and I'm very blessed to have an old lady that doesn't mind me doing what I do, and sometimes I gotta keep her happy, but most of the time she knows there's a trial or I gotta run dogs, you know.
Yep, there's a balance.
That's the only thing I do. I could be doing other bad things, but I ain't. I love running dogs, and it's my passion, you know, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. I don't really care about deer hunting or anything else. All I want to do is run my dog, and I want to get the best out of the dog that I'm running. And I usually only focus on 1 or 2 dogs at the maximum, 2 dogs, because I want to see the full potential I can get out of a dog. Mm-hmm. And it's hard when you got a whole pack of dogs. I know a lot of these guys got like 20 or 30 dogs, and it's like, hey, I don't know how you do it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it either. I'm a big fan of just having a handful. That's all one person really can manage, and truly know, like you said, truly know what you got, and give them the time that they deserve. Well, Patrick, as we kind of wrap up, I do have a couple more questions for you. One is to newcomers, somebody that's interested in trying out rabbit hunting or getting into rabbit hunting, and this could be somebody interested in the pleasure hunting part of it, or somebody that's interested in the competition hunting, just rabbit hunting, period. What do you think some good pointers or tips that you would share with somebody like that?
Try to find someone that has real knows the game and has real good bloodline, a dog, and you can get in someone that knows what they're doing and a real good dog man. I'll tell you what, you'll be very lucky, just like me.
I love
it. Someone like that.
I love it, Patrick. I think that's some of the best advice. I used to say there's no school for hound hunters. You know, there's that no substitute for experience. You just kind of got to get out there and do it. But man, it's nice when you have somebody that'll take you under their wing, somebody that you can look up to, ask those questions of, and kind of learn on the fly like that. So that's terrific advice. Mm-hmm. And then
if you can really find someone that'll take you under their wing, help you out, that's awesome. But if you can't, and you can get a dog, and you're gonna do it yourself, you can learn that way too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like I told you in the beginning of this. There's billions of things that can happen, and there's so much out there that you can learn. Mm-hmm. I don't know everything, and I still learn to this day. And it's just that's how I've been raised to listen to people. You
Mm-hmm.
got to listen to learn.
That is wisdom right there. You're spot on. Well, let me ask you this. This is just kind of a general question. Why do you do this? I mean, why do you love it so much? And what keeps you going day after day after day with these hounds?
I think it's just the passion and the love I have for the dog, hound hunting in general, and keeping everything. It just keeps me out of trouble too.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to do anything else. If I had to go back and pick, I'd pick hound hunting every single time. If it was with anything to do with a dog,
mm-hmm.
I'll pick it. I just have so much passion and drive with these dogs just to run them, and I have fun. Enjoy life running my dog. That's what I like doing. If I could do all this for a living and pay my bills and everything, this is what I would do. But I can't.
People can make a living, but it's very few that I've found in my experience. But I think if I called you back in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I think you're going to be running something with a hound. I just think it's in your blood, and I think you're going to keep doing it for years and years and years to come. So is there anything that I didn't ask you about that I should have, or is there anything else you want to talk about or cover, or even something that you'd want to promote?
I'd like to just talk about you don't mind me talking about some of the clubs that we got around here, because I'd like to get them out, get the names out there, because around here, some clubs are, dwindling, some clubs are doing successful, especially like the coon clubs some of them aren't doing good like us. Our club is called Great Country Houndsman Club in Branchport, New York. And if anybody from anywhere wants to come up and come up and run dogs, we got a club there. I mean, we don't have a fenced in area, mm-hmm. but I always run up there. Not too many me and my buddies go up there once in a while. We got boat trails and stuff out there. It's a big thicket. We got permission from the neighbor. He don't really care if we get over on him. So, I mean, and coming up for our hunts and supporting us, it's pretty good. And we have, usually we got some people that know how to cook. So, we usually got some good food.
My favorite clubs are the ones that have good food and clean bathrooms. Those are two important things for anybody traveling coming to see you.
Our bathrooms now, they're clean, but it's like going to a hunting cabin kind of. They ain't no immaculate thing, but they're clean. Trust me, because I work for the school there, and I know what's got to be clean.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be the Ritz, I mean, it doesn't have to be something with gold fixtures and stuff. It doesn't have to be, beautiful, but clean. It's got to be clean.
The other thing I'd like to promote is I'd like them Sugar Creek kennels. I know I've seen Mike Ayers. He's been putting out rowdy reputation out there to breed them and stuff. And I think he'd appreciate me if I said that and get his name out there. Not that people don't know the dog. I mean, there's a lot of people that know who he is out there. There's another guy that I don't know if you ever hunted any English coon dogs. Mm-hmm. I've heard of Heat Seeker Kennels.
Okay.
My buddy Josh and Grant Whitmore, they have that. And they got some pretty nice English dogs, and they do some winning. And but just if you want to come up in New York State and you want rabbit hunt or anything, just let me know. It's not too bad hunting up here. I mean, it ain't the greatest, but we got some rabbits and.
Well, Patrick, let me ask you this: if people do want to take you up on your offer, and folks that maybe want to find out more about Great Country Houndsman's Club, how do they find you? Do you guys have a website? Do you have a president that they can contact, or how's that work?
We have a page on Facebook.
Okay.
Well, I should have mentioned that too. There's the Great Country Houndsman Club is the Beagle side of it, and then the Coon side of it is Great Country Coon Hunters Association. There's 2 pages.
Okay.
You can get a hold of me or anybody on there from right there.
Perfect. Well, Patrick.
And I'm on Facebook too. I'm on Facebook, and in the future of our club, I am pushing to become the president.
Very good. Well, it sounds like you've got a good core group there, and that's what every club needs to be successful. Patrick, thank you so much for coming on. I really have enjoyed learning more about you and your hounds and your story, and hearing more about what it's like to hunt in New York State, which is just fantastic. And it sounds like it's something. It can change on the dime. But I do. I really appreciate you coming on. I thank you.
I thank you for asking me to be on your podcast here. I really appreciate it, and I like the content you have on here.
Well, thank you, sir.
It's very interesting, and I've learned some things from listening to your podcast.
Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening to Buff in the Rough. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to be notified when we have new content available. And please send comments and suggestions to buffintherough@gmail.com.